Okay.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we have a quorum, so it is 5:02. We'll call the meeting to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry.
Where is it?
I
North.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if we can have the roll call, please.
Yes. Sandra Cavazos Ayala.
Present.
Betty Baez.
Present.
Roberto Ortiz.
Present.
Maribel Valdez Rodriguez. She did say that she was gonna be late.
Yes.
Possible. Angelica Salinas. She called that she's gonna have to cancel today's meeting, that she couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
Rosa Maria Cidellano.
Present.
Jose Obando.
Here, ma'am.
Arlie Epstein.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, following along with the agenda, the citizens' comments. Citizens are required to fill out a witness card and submit it to the chairperson no later than 5:15 on Wednesday, August, that was today. So has anybody submitted any?
No.
Okay. And at this point, we'll go on to the minutes. The reading and approval of the minutes of June 27th, 2018. I wanna take a look. Anybody have any changes or recommendations?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Have a motion to approve the minutes, do I have a second?
No second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries, we approve the minutes. Okay, communications and announcements, presentation of new library employees.
Okay, I'm very happy to report we have 3 new employees since the last time we met. We have 2 new librarians, Mr. Alexander Percy, the librarian 1 in the reference area. He came to us via Boston, via Louisiana. And,
Thank you.
and Ms. Roxanne Gassa,
Hi. Nice to meet you all.
and she comes to us via LC.
LC?
LC.
Okay, that's right, it changed its name.
It's no longer a
It's still hard to
Okay.
say just
I know, I'm trying to get used to it. And we also have a new clerk in the circulation department, Ms. Ruby Martinez.
Aspiring librarian.
Aspiring librarian.
Hey, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you guys. That's it. No.
Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
With more of the wages.
Yes.
Okay, communications and announcements, oh,
so-
sorry, we just did that.
No, well, I have several items.
Oh.
In there, I know that you've noticed as you walked in,
Yes.
we've made a few changes, couple little changes at the library. We have moved the children's department towards the reference area because they were running out of space. We do need more space. They're gonna be holding their story hours. We were having to take the story hour upstairs. But now they have enough space there where they're gonna have that. Also with the new family place,
Yes.
we needed, it was getting crowded, so we've spread it out now and they have more room.
Such a good program.
And we've added a wall, right next to the elevator so the kids don't come running out.
When did you all make those decisions?
The last 2 weeks we've done it.
Since
The
we-
moving was
Since we
done.
didn't meet.
Yes.
We didn't know anything else.
No, and I
know.
just got the approval from my boss about, well, as soon as I got it, they started moving stuff.
So that's, yeah, 'cause
So-
we didn't meet last month, so we didn't
Right.
know anything about it.
Reference is upstairs. We have the computer lab upstairs. It's a quieter place because as you know, it was very, very loud down here.
It still is.
Yeah, I know, and it's gonna remain and
Yes.
ni modo. I mean, it just, and one of the best changes is now we have a teen area where we're gonna have all the teen programming, they're gonna have their meetings there, all the teen, material resources are gonna be there. So hopefully we can up our teen attendance.
Is there, I know Mrs. Casas was talking about this, about getting, like a, what is it, like signage or something?
Yes, no, that's the next step. We're gonna contact somebody to give it, we'd like to.
A big sign that says children's
Yes,
area.
exactly. That's what they specialize in. It's kind of like a wrap that they can put on the walls. So we're gonna get some quotes on that.
Digital, but there's a program called, I can't remember, but I know I get a lot of their emails.
There's, the vendor or the representative is named David Martinez.
No, it's local.
It's, well, he's out of McAllen, but he's working with LISD, the new libraries, with the furniture, cause he does furnishings and signage.
Oh, with Tesco.
Tesco, yes.
Yes, he's from the valley.
Mhm.
That's the name of the company, Tesco?
Tesco.
And he approached
The
me.
owner is out of close to Houston. It's not Victoria.
So they do signage.
They do signage, furniture.
Furniture.
Everything
Their
related library.
specialization is in library furniture. Yeah, we got all our furniture from them, and then they're doing UISD as well.
I heard, yeah, he told me that, so. He approached me in case I needed more furniture, go, no, I don't need furniture, but they do
Yeah.
have the signage.
Yes.
So I envision something big, because,
Yes,
Colorful.
something big, and
Colorful.
colorful, and
Colorful
friendly,
for the children,
aesthetically
yeah.
pleasing to a kid's eyes.
Mhm.
What happened to the beautiful tree?
oh, that one was, it was right there, and it was made with paper and
I
stuff.
know.
Are you talking about the one at Moss? This one was just made by staff with butcher paper.
Beautiful, it was beautiful.
Well, they can make it again.
They
If they
can.
have an area there, I didn't really go see the area over there.
Yeah.
But
It's very spacious, we went to see it.
And that area in the back was not really getting used as a reference when it was referenced, so now she's gonna have the programs there. With plenty of space. You need to go look at it.
yeah,
And the
I
team
have
area has a stage? Is
A
that what I
stage,
saw?
yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And you're
That's
gonna get
good.
computers, right? Because I didn't see any computers in there.
There are some,
Well, we have space for them. We're gonna be checking out laptops for them, as soon as we announce our, big opening or whatever.
and Rick has been moved to that area, and we have an
How
additional
many
staff.
computers are you gonna have in there?
I don't know how many, we used to have
There used to
20?
be 10 there for
10
the children's lab. We're going to limit it to 5. Yeah,
standalones, not laptops.
yeah. and then the additional
Five desktops.
five desktops, and then the laptops that they can check out as well.
And we have about 15 in children's, and then we have a computer lab upstairs now. The one that we had here has been moved
No,
upstairs.
but the teen area probably, I think they need more
Well,
computers.
actually,
They all have their own devices.
They all do.
They don't
Yeah.
use computers when they're here. They come here
Their
to
laptops.
they come here to read. Surprisingly, just hang out there for a while. You'll
Or
see
do they
them
come here like
check out
for the internet, or no?
maybe because we have free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you'll see them on their phones, but if not, you'll see them, reading graphic novels or picking up,
Are you in charge of that area now?
for the time being, yes.
I'm gonna have two staff currently are heading the TAB program, is Rick and Lauren, who's also
The
gonna be
team.
a librarian hopefully eventually.
So you check out devices as well? Like they take them
Not
home?
currently, we're still working that, no, it's not gonna be for take home, it's gonna be
Just here,
in-house.
That's the big good thing.
Not like the bibliotheque, yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, the kids here, they don't, the children are using it to play games and do their stuff, their homework and stuff, but the ones that, the teens that come, they have their own devices, they bring their laptops, they bring their tablets. So to them, the Wi-Fi is more viable than having a computer to sit at, because,
To do some work or do a
Yeah.
document or something.
yeah.
It just kind of looked, well, I guess,
It's
it
still,
looks bare.
well, it's a work in progress. They've never
Yeah,
had an
very
area.
rare.
They had a little area upstairs, but now they can have their TAB meetings there. Any kind of programming, we're talking about having constant programs.
Well, I'm sure by next month we'll see a better version of it.
Well, maybe not by next month, we're at the end of our budget. If we're having to purchase anything, it's gonna have to be till after October. Mhm.
Will we see the signage and stuff before it gets?
I can bring it to you. I'm having him, he sent me some samples which look really nice, bright, colorful, big.
Right.
But I can
Can we
ask.
see those?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see those before you put them up. Yeah, very good. And also the cost.
Our safety committee representative Rick you had asked for the video on the active shooter that we used to train the staff when we had one of our safety meetings. He has it queued up.
Okay.
Okay.
When did you have the active shooter training?
April 30th.
April 30th.
April 30th.
It was right after we came back from TLA because we had just seen it.
Via video or an actual?
No, a video. This was one that was provided by the Texas Library Association. It was available on a webinar, and then there were several of us that attended the actual training.
It would be something to maybe invite the law enforcement to do a training here.
They just did
Like they
one
did at
for
the mall.
you guys
They did
and
it
at the
did you
mall.
see it?
Yes, I saw, yes.
Oh my God,
And-
it was an experience of a
Let me
lifetime.
get out of the way. In the way?
I didn't know we put that.
Yeah.
No,
You
get on
wanted
this side.
us over here?
I'm gonna get on this side.
Yeah.
Because of the camera.
Yeah, no, we're fine,
But
we're
it's
fine,
fine here.
yeah.
I'll be right
It was because of
here.
the
I got a big
camera.
head.
Next time like this.
And that would be good to do, cause I went through one at United High School, the old, my old United High School.
But.
And, it's good because you get to hear gun blast, unless you're used to shooting inside of a building, it's much louder than outside, of course.
It was
And when you
horrendous.
hear that, and the dragging of bodies and what have you, that really,
I was crying.
what do you do?
Sorry.
What do you do? And that's what you wanna ask yourself, where am I gonna go? What are my safety protocols? Are all my doors locked? Are we using slides, or what are we doing?
And we can do it for this building, but the other buildings they're different layout.
Yes.
So what works here might not work in the other.
Right, but at least if it's in one, it brings attention to when you go to the other buildings, what to look for. And that's what's important. So, because I know when I went through it, I came back to my campus and said, okay, it's a different layout. Okay, we gotta start doing this.
For next safety meeting, if we can get PD.
Oh,
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you're out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or attend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
Our, do you all,
Is
the
that
city, do y'all require, is that it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want more information, I can.
No, that's fine.
Are y'all are required to wear name tags or tags, ID
have
tags?
You have, that's
'Cause-
part of the checklist now.
Yes, because and I know it's part of our safety protocol now that everybody, I mean, we've always had them, but people get lax in wearing them.
We
And
did
it's-
too.
And it's part of our,
Definitely.
when you visit other libraries, that's one of the things, I guess, on the checklist, is like, is everybody wearing a name tag? Because you wanna be able to identify an active shooter that, you know, in other words, he's not part of the crowd, well, and you can't grab somebody else's name tag that has a picture ID. The other thing is like, I noticed you got the kind of doors like we have, like, do y'all have slides on the, are all the doors already locked?
No,
Those
some
magnetic
are-
slides?
Mm-mm.
Cause that's what happened in, Parkland? No, not Parkland. Was it Parkland? One of the areas was that the teacher went out, most of the doors at our campus locked from the outside, and the same thing at that school. She stepped outside to lock the door and got shot because she had to go outside to lock it. That's the purpose of the magnetic slides over the key, the door, so that it's already locked. You just slide and it's locked. You don't have to step outside into the shooter's line of sight. Just little things like that, you know, I mean,
We can lock them from the inside, but there's some that do not lock. That's the way the
yeah,
Our emergency ones are push bar. They
Yeah.
lock from the outside, but
right.
you're allowed to go in, or out from the inside. Most of these doors do have a like clicking mechanism, so
Yeah,
it's just.
and it's,
so
okay.
right now it's locked.
But you still have to open the door.
Yeah.
But you have to open it.
I mean, just little things. I know. I'm just saying that they made us do at our campus is that maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe there should be some coordination between, you know, all facilities, public facilities, because.
and they just voted for a $75,000 study of City Hall. And I'm thinking, once they do that one, they'll start applying it to the rest of the city buildings.
Yeah. Good.
But they just, like, the last city council meeting.
Because week 1 in Tyler, Texas, there had a foiled attempt already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard about those three. No, three boys. I think at a high school in Tyler, Texas. We're planning to. I mean, that was week
that's
1.
Right. That's right.
So right away, I was like, okay, let me make sure we're doing. We got it. I sent my officer, go check all the doors, make sure they're locked. They should all be locked. You know, just little things like that, especially because you know this is a place for kids and teens and stuff come in, and God forbid.
No.
Okay, but that's good. That's good. It's a good start. Okay, yeah. Okay, were there any other? Oh, yes, Mrs.
Yes,
Diana was
I
gonna.
have one announcement because you will all be receiving an email from the Consulado de Mexico inviting you to a special event on September 5th at TAMIU. I think it's at 6 or 6:30, I'm not sure of the time. But it's about it's art and history of Nuevo Laredo. Dr. Stanley Green will be giving the conference. But the reason you're being invited is because the libraries from Nuevo Laredo want the librarian, who is the counterpart with you, he's been here before, Alfredo Arcos,
Yes.
will be presenting some books to the library, the official story, history in the city of Nuevo Laredo, written by Dr. Herrera, very, very well known, Octavio Herrera. And they wanted to come today, but they couldn't. There was some snafu when they couldn't make it today. So I'm speaking on behalf of them because I'm part of the Seminario de Cultura from Mexico. And it's going to be very interesting. And then they will hopefully visit us in our September meeting and then present those books to us. So that's right. So you are going to get your invitation.
Okay.
I think in
An
through
email.
email, I think.
It's
I
already.
already got one.
You already got it?
Is
Oh,
it
okay.
I did
plastic
too.
something? I
Yes,
just briefly
yes,
said-
because it's artes plásticas and then you know, art, and then the conference by Dr. Green. It's in Spanish, because the book is in Spanish. So Dr. Green, you know, yeah, it will be doing it, and because it's a Mexican and we're starting the Fiestas Septembrinas, you know, the Mexican independence with that. So everything will be in Spanish, but we're all bilingual, so.
Yes.
Yes, and Stanley Green, of course, it's outstanding, he's outstanding, so.
Okay, thank you. Move on to the staff report.
And in your packet is the new and revised checklist. I will be using this from now on for each librarian.
Thank you.
And making the comments on the side instead of presenting you the library branch visits report. So this is the one that I'm gonna be adopting now when I visit the branches.
And in here
And
will
where would
be,
it say, I'm sorry, the date that you went to the branch?
Up there at the top, the date.
Oh, that's a sample, right?
That's-
Obviously you didn't go.
I
today.
did this morning.
Oh, you went today?
I visited 3 this morning and 2 the previous day.
Oh, okay. So if throughout the whole month, this is, you went to this visit like at the end of the month, or?
I try to go right before the meeting so we can get the most updated.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you, what is the strategy that you're using to go? So you don't go at any other time other than these 3 times throughout the month? Okay. And, I guess, I don't know, just missing, I guess, the point of the visits is like, not only just going to these 3 times because you're gonna do the report, but like even just throughout, you know.
If I
Any
have
other
time, if I
time.
have something scheduled, my schedule is very packed sometimes. Like this week I've had meetings. I'm now in charge of the Fine Arts and Culture Committee, so now I'm being involved with anything to do with the arts that the city has. I'm having to go to those meetings too. But I get updates. If something goes wrong, they call us right away. I meet once a week with my librarians
Okay.
to find out.
So that's another, and where do they meet?
Here,
They come over here. Do you all ever meet at the different libraries?
Usually not because the head librarians most of them are here.
Because it would be nice to have the meetings, you know, also at the
It's
different.
kind of hard to get everybody in one place. It's easier for me to visit because some of the branches have a staff of 2, you know, 2.5 maybe. So it's easier for me to go.
You know what I mean, like when we had principal, you know, that you go to
We do,
different
we still have
campuses,
it.
yeah.
Yes, we do.
So that, you know, everybody can see what's going on at the different,
Branches.
library, at the different branches and.
Like
share
I said, again,
ideas,
it's
and they share
staffing.
ideas,
That's
you
the
know.
issue.
It's a
that
staffing
It's
issue.
staffing. To get the other libraries to come over here, that would mean that they'd leave one person over there.
So okay, so they don't come over here then?
They do. I mean, if they have business to do, if they have to
No, I'm
drop off
talking about your meetings.
the meetings, no, they come here.
So they still leave a person back there.
Well, the person that's in charge of the branches is the one that attends.
That comes, right?
Mhm.
So there's
Not
2
the-
people that's in charge, one person still stays behind. So what I'm saying is like schedule the meetings at different branches, not always here at this main branch. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody can get an opportunity to see what's going on at the different branches. I don't know, it's just a suggestion.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that more,
take that.
there'll be more, you know, visibility out there and plus getting them an opportunity to see other branches. Just an idea, just a suggestion.
it might even help with some of the other issues that you have, that you see when you go.
Mhm.
Only because when you know everyone's coming to your place, you get your place in order.
Well, and
You know what I
when
mean?
they know I'm coming, that usually is. When I'm
Yeah.
coming, it usually is.
Yeah.
Right,
Or they
'cause-
give me updates on it.
And that would even say, because like you go at the end of the month, but then if there's another meeting that's going to occur, that's going to circulate throughout the year, and you can set a schedule, and that way, then, okay, I'm going to,
And
you know,
the other issue, well, maybe ICB have a place to meet. Bruni, Santa Rita, I mean, there's no place to really have a meeting. Baskin, there's no meeting place. I mean, we'd have to meet probably out in the open.
I can,
And how many people are we talking about that come here to the meeting?
We have my technical services librarian, Annalisa, public services, Jackie, and of course Angie's always there to take notes and,
So how many people?
4 or 5.
Oh, that's how many people
Mhm.
meet? Oh, I thought it was all your librarians.
No, not all of them. There's people that are in charge of other librarians and they bring the information.
So you don't meet with your librarians once a week?
Once a week, no, I meet with my managers. Librarians maybe once a month, and that's to discuss programming, scheduling,
And they meet here?
and most of the librarians are here.
So 4 people are the people that you meet with on a weekly basis?
Weekly basis, usually Thursday afternoons, sometimes it's not possible, we may skip a week. But like I said, I'm in constant contact with them, they have my cell phone, they send me emails whenever something needs to be fixed or something and they always copy Angie.
I don't know, it's just a good practice, to be out there, like, you know, I used to tell, and Bob knows, and he does it, I'm sure. I'm gonna go do my MBWA, and they would say, MBWA, what does that mean? Management by walking around. So, and there's another quote, and I don't remember who it was, but it says, the king only knows what he is told. You only know what you are told. But when you're out there, you get to see everything. And I thought that was very interesting. The king only knows what he is told. But unless the king is out there and looking and, you know, seeing things, then you get to see, wow, I didn't know that I didn't know that this was happening. I didn't know. Like, I felt like today, the king and we kings were out there looking, and we now know what we're seeing because we hadn't been told. You know, and it's not in a bad way, but I'm saying, so it's like the king only knows what he's told, otherwise he's out there knowing what's going on.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of goes like when we, like for example, when we would come to some of the, like the guest authors or something, it's like, well, we know what's wrong with the mic because we were there. You know, we saw the issue ourselves, and so we can come here and let you know about it to see hopefully that avoid that for the next time. And yes, we do that. I mean, in fact, I just had an experience with it just recently. I'm like, how did this get here?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, little things like that. So there might be, I know that it sounds, you know, staffing may be an issue, but if there's a creative way to perhaps.
And we had talked about maybe FaceTiming or, you know, conference call. Especially when we started getting the other branches. So.
Yeah, because I think that's just something that is prevalent, and it's not just in this department, but it's in a lot of departments. Because really, people are relying on what at least those in management phone calls that they're getting from maybe the public. But until you get out there, you see it, do you get to appreciate the problem or the issue? And once you're there, like, oh, now I understand. And that kind of thing happens all the time. So I don't know, that might be, and so I'm thinking that this is a good first step that we took where you do the monthly checklist and you're seeing things firsthand. And I think that is, for me, I know when I do it, it's an eye-opening experience. Oh, okay, I'm seeing this now. Now I see it's this transition area right here. And you're able to troubleshoot it on the spot. But if you never go out there, well then that's where the issues really creep up and sneak up on you. Can become, even a small one, a much larger issue very quickly. Yeah. So if there's some way that maybe some of those meetings, because it's just 4 of you, or 5 of you, as you said, were your managers, right? No.
Managers.
Managers, and there could be.
Librarian 3s and 4s.
Librarian 3s and 4s. That could be something, because when you talk about programming, you must also talk about logistics with those programs. And like you said, not every, as you said yourself, facility is the same. So when you make these programs, you got to think of, well, how's it going to be most effective considering the logistics at the Bruni branch or this branch, because it's going to be different in each one. That will change.
And the programs are different in every branch.
Yes.
What works here doesn't work in the South branch.
Correct. But there's also sometimes when this is what we get through our, I guess you would call walkthroughs when we go to the campuses. and it works awesomely with our colleague principals. Like, okay, well, that's how you do that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal your idea because I can see that it can work over here, or that, like you said, that wouldn't work over here. But you at least get to see it. And I don't know, it might be something of an issue, something that maybe can be done. And it helps develop consistency everywhere. That I know for sure. Because if I don't visit the class to class, if I go to this class at 9:30 and at 9:35 I go to the next class, they're not teaching the same thing, something's up. And that's when you start getting inconsistencies. So anyway, something that to consider. Something to consider. But, so we'll be getting them like this. Now, I saw that you had the safety on here already too.
There's still some things that are, we're trying to schedule. The fire inspection, usually they show up.
Yeah.
But Angie's gonna try to see if we can schedule the different branches. Some of them have already been done, maybe 2 of the libraries, including us. But I'm gonna call to see if we can go ahead and schedule that for the other branches.
And I feel that in the future, this column of safety or this little area is gonna grow much larger. Because you're gonna have to look at the doors, exits, so is everybody wearing their badges?
That one's stuck there somewhere under staff.
Yeah, all of these things are gonna have to be considered. Security, does every branch have a security guard or no, right? No, right?
No, only the larger ones. I can't justify when there's just one room.
One of the things I think you should do, or a recommendation, a suggestion really, is something that I know that our district has done, is to work, since you're with the city police, to say, these guys gotta fill out reports all the time.
They do, and they do come
And they do it on the good.
Because, they're right there, it's close by. They do come and sit here, or they park in the parking lot.
Yeah, because that presence alone
Is enough.
is
yes.
enough, but really, is it happening at the other branches? Especially the more remote ones?
Yes.
Because I will tell you, because I'm in a remote area. I don't know if you've ever been in my area, but it is remote. I'm in Rio Bravo, and I know that I talk to Webb County, and I'll talk to DPS. I said, I need you guys to park your vehicle here. You want to have you want public safety? Park on a school campus. Do your report here. You got to park somewhere anyway. Do it here. That at least will help say, you know what, I'm not going to go through the
And we also have the police books where they have to study to get promotions. We have them here. And they come in, and there's a special library card because they're the only ones that can check them out. So we hold their library here for when they're testing. So we do have them coming in.
But there are what? There are 6 branches, 7 branches. It needs to be out there too. Yeah.
We've reached out to PD to start patrolling the Bruni, and they do for a while, and I don't know if they continue, but if I reach out to the chief, which I have in the past, they'll start driving a little more often
And that would
around
be
here.
very important to do, in my opinion, just as a deterrent, as we say, because that's why, like in my own campus, my officer used to park in the back. And I say, hey,
No, park in the
put your
front.
vehicle right here. I want everybody to see that there's a police presence on the campus, and that really helps people even get off their cell phones and pay attention. And just, it's a simple thing, but it matters so much. And I don't know, I just worry that it's going to happen one day in our town, and I don't want it to.
We can prepare as much as we
I know.
can, and you never know.
But okay.
Another thing that you asked me to report on was Councilman Rodriguez appointee. I did talk to Ms. Collazo. She was gonna talk to him. She asked me, gave me permission to text him and ask him about the appointment. I have not heard back from him. So, just giving you an update as to the status of that.
I don't know, is he running again? I see.
Yeah, he is. So, I don't know what to tell you.
And then he doesn't
tried
accept.
personal calls from the chair. It's on the Friday packet. It's in the biannual report. At one point, the city secretary did call him and ask him to appoint. I texted him.
We have given him suggestions, right?
You did,
Yes, I did. I forget now, but yeah.
And I'm sure he has his hands full with the election.
Well,
How long has this
Right.
been going on for now?
yeah, but since forever.
Who Rangel did appoint somebody who resigned, ever since he.
Oh, Dora, and my friend,
Dora.
because I
Yes,
had suggested.
Councilman Rangel.
Yes, Dora Flores, it was, yes. And we haven't had one since she resigned, which is like 2 years ago.
So this has been going on for 2 years? Wow.
Yeah, but before that, there was nobody.
Yes,
There was no-
practically
when I
all of
came-
Councilman Rangel's term, there was nobody.
Yes, when I came, there was nobody, and I said, well, I know a lot of people, because I used to work at Cigarroa, and, that's the area. And I recommended several, and of course Dora Flores was the one, but then she's so busy, like many people.
So the elections are when?
Elections are.
November.
Yes, but early voting starts, in October. Yeah, I have it, yeah. Early voting starts.
Is it the first week's work?
First
no,
Tuesday
Yes,
of
the first
November?
Tuesday, I think, I'm not sure. I have it in my calendar because.
Okay. We also asked for an update on the PSAs for all branches?
Yes, I did talk to Mr. Leal, and I agree with him, he suggested to waiting after the election
Mm,
to do it.
okay. Now, speaking of the elections, just to be clear, remember there was the issue last time around with elections and using the library and the inside.
I've already had requests to come do readings for story hour, and I've said no.
Yeah.
So we'll be vigilant on that.
Okay.
They've requested to come and do readings, politicians?
Readings for the children, can I come read at story hour?
And record it.
I
Like
know,
right now, like these candidates that are running right now?
recently,
Can you
yes.
say who?
I'd rather not, but no, I did say no, that we
Wow.
don't, we already have our programming, we don't allow, people to just come
Wow,
out.
I don't believe it.
I have the first day of early voting is October 22nd.
We've already discussed it with them and said no. that-
But I will tell my staff to be vigilant on.
Yes.
And they know that if they see somebody filming, they need to come to administration and ask, request.
The outside, of course, is free game. I mean, that happens all the time. But on the inside, it seemed like it would be the cities endorsing or giving preference to one candidate over another, and it can't be going
No,
that
but
way.
like I said, I mean, it's gonna be, so.
Okay.
Wow, well,
Do you
good job
expect it worse
for.
than
Thank you,
yeah,
yes,
good
thank you for
job
doing that.
sticking your-
No, don't wanna get into
I mean,
any
I'm baffled to think that.
Somebody would, I think you even think about it, right?
After we've talked about it for years and years, que no se hace, que you don't do it,
But
I guess it's like Eddie said, it's the brand new ones that don't know about it, probably. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't care to. I'd rather not.
Okay, the other thing you requested was a copy of the bylaws, and that is in your packet. I don't know if you wanna take a chance to look at it, and I know there's some changes that need to be done. For example, the time of meeting and where, they have not been updated, I don't believe, since, let me see if I had to put a date on it. Since 2012 was the last time that they were updated. The bylaws do call for a bylaws committee. But I mean, we can change that. I can bring changes to it and present it to you.
We're supposed to have standing committee and the budget committee?
Well,
Within-
and that's no
Within this
longer-
committee?
That is probably no longer valid because I sometimes can't even, we present the budget that is, that we're told to present.
So,
When we get a chance to
if I
present.
understand this correctly, this is a bylaws for this committee,
You're allowed to make the bylaws for your own committee.
okay, and within this bylaws say, within this committee, we have a standing committees, which is a budget committee, shall assist the library director in preparing the annual budget and present a copy of to each committee member with, is there missing something?
I think there is, Angie.
Yeah, 'cause it says with, and with, you see at the end, in the back?
Yeah,
I'm
no, there's
reading
either that or it's
There's
like,
right here.
There's one.
Oh, okay, if there's two in
Yeah.
one.
You're correct.
Or maybe the pages are misfiled, that they're not in order.
With, so where would be the next,
Section
No.
Well, do we?
Right, we've never had a budget committee.
No.
In the 10 years that I've been serving, I've
no,
never helped
because
you
we
or
don't
assisted you with
like
this budget.
recommend our budget or we're, the last time, few times that it's, the budget is it's been either no growth or
No, I
cuts.
understand that, what I'm just saying, we have never had
No.
this committee, that's my question.
I have a question.
It goes
If,
from Article 3
Does
to
this
Article
apply to us already?
Yeah.
Because you just said that you give you 10 years?
Yes,
And
right
it says
here,
that
original.
can limit it to 8 years.
Well, the thing is,
You know what,
we did
just,
right.
it was
Mira,
very, very
Paper.
So I was the first Salinas, now I was reappointed to the other mayor.
No, no están en orden.
No están en orden. And I
Can I
just,
say,
The second, the
it
third
was
page is the last page.
four with Salinas, and now
we need
Well,
one
then
for
can you give me-
Article 7, when there's no 8, 9,
yeah, so actually it's four, it's 4 and 4.
10.
Not even, have you finished the
Oh,
4?
because it says if a replacement has not appointed, the other members term, the member shall continue to serve.
And then
Oh, I see.
it does, that one does still apply.
But all the media say the committee shall review grant proposals, major contracts, and legal documents.
That is no longer,
And
I
make
mean,
the recommendations there too, before the city
No,
commission.
but like even the budget committee, you know, we.
right at the
and-
No, I know what you're saying, it's like,
I know, this is
This
really
is
outdated.
us.
yeah.
We don't have special meetings.
Year 2000.
Public Relations Committee.
It's 19 years, 18 years old.
Mary.
Where did you get
Miss
that
Solis.
page? I think this is out of place.
it is.
Yes, look, second page has Article 11,
Uh-huh.
and
So is
page
this
1
the
and 2.
complete document or is it
No,
missing?
no, no, page 1 has Article 1, 2, 3, then page 3 has, it skips to Article 11. Then you go to page 4 or the other, and it's Article 4, 5. We are missing 8, 9, and 10.
Can these be numbered, like page, at the bottom of the page?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll be easier if they're numbered.
No, you're missing.
Article 4, and over here it's
Yeah.
Article
11.
Yeah.
We're
It is
missing page
incomplete.
9.
It's
I
not- it's
can
not-
email it to you and put it on the agenda for next
For
time.
next time,
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
It is a little confusing like this.
No, it is.
So yeah, we can review it again and meanwhile we can look at what we have here and see if there's anything, I mean, we
Would
could
you
be.
like me to
It
go
is-
ahead and put the corrections, cause there's, like the meetings and just send it all like that marked up to you?
Or give us a copy and we'll discuss it next time.
Right.
I'd rather see it in a hard copy like this than through my email.
Okay,
And,
Yeah.
I like your suggestion.
numbering the pages.
Numbering the
Yeah.
pages,
Yeah.
but be
and
careful
that
that
it's
you,
complete.
the
Yeah,
articles
this, cause
are,
it's good double sided.
yes, yes.
We'll make it simple and just put one side.
And
With one
whatever
side.
it is
With one
that is
side,
no
it's
longer applicable to this, that we can then recommend any changes, just let us know.
Like the rules for attendance, where excused, not excused, now the ordinance says regardless, it's an absence. And it doesn't have to be consecutive, it's throughout the year.
But this is 18 years, how many years old? It was in 2000?
2012?
12.
12 or before
Oh,
that.
so
It
it's
says here 2000.
Oh, really?
We just saw something that says September 2000.
It might be that long, in the back.
So it's 18
Good,
years?
okay.
2018. Okay, we definitely need to review this and see it at a better, with a better format. Por favor.
Just off the top of my head, the only thing that I would wanna maybe, I don't know if that's even possible through bylaws, is that if, the councilman does not make a recommendation within a certain window of time, we would be allowed to assign our own. Probably not, but I would think.
So that would not happen.
I just thought I'd try.
You tried.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, but what other means can we recommend so that, I mean, what is the holdback, you know, what's holding him back? And what else can we do as a committee to
Help.
Another announcement, there was an item on the agenda for city council where it got approved that committees, commissions, boards present to the city council once a year. I don't have any more details other than that, the scheduling, I will let you know.
Okay.
That's fine, we'll be happy to
As
do
long as it's not around Star.
It would be.
Monthly, yeah, it's probably gonna be that day.
That Monday.
it. Yeah, no, we would have to be advised with any of them.
Okay. We're at monthly statistics, is that right? Or programs and services, is that right?
And you have, in your packet, small copies of the flyers that are posted and,
Yoga for
You
seniors.
know, that was
I know,
today.
I saw that.
I like it, but
I
it
think
was.
I'm almost gonna qualify for that.
we might have another one. This one was at Moss, I think we're having one here.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Well,
Keep your eye out.
Yes, because how, I mean, I just saw that it was today, so I would like it.
And that was,
But
I
it's
think
not,
we're-
it's at the other branch, it's
Yes,
at
yeah.
Uh-huh. But we're also
It's
doing
a 2-hour
programming here.
yoga.
Yeah, well, you
Yoga's
having it
hard.
here when?
Yoga's very hard, yeah.
Yoga's
I can
hard.
find out, I believe it's in September.
Can you let us know?
I will let
I
you
would, vamos a venir.
But it's 9:30 to 11:30.
That's fine.
Bueno, yo vengo. I'm retired.
I'll work harder in the afternoon. I'll go stay longer over
Oh,
there.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And the other one is from 1 to 3, right?
Yeah.
Today, well, and this was Moss, but we're also working with them to bring it here to the main.
Can you do like like a 4 to 6 or something?
Depends on them, I'll check what
Okay,
time.
sure.
Who is so?
That's cute.
United Healthcare,
Have you ever been?
they're reading, the instructor.
Yeah, but if it's for seniors, it might
Or
be
we
a
can have
little
Nettie
more.
teach it.
Oh, that's right.
Your Tai Chi is not as strange as the yoga.
You'd be surprised, you're sore after doing Tai Chi.
Yes, yes.
You are.
It's good exercise.
Rather just go have some egg rolls or something. Who does the homework help? Who helps the kids with the homework under that program?
It's the librarians. The librarians.
How, the librarians at each campus? I mean, at
Well,
each,
this one is only in McKendrick, and we have 2 librarians there. I know that she's also in the past had, older teens helping the little ones. The
volunteer hours
Mhm.
when to do their
Mhm.
volunteer.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Get your
That's a
volunteers
good
to
volunteer
go out.
hours, yeah. That's always a good
Yeah,
idea.
I get them at the Imaginary, the volunteers, oh, I love it, they're very helpful. You have to be fortunate.
Okay, Percy Jackson. Teen game night. When does the one city, one book begin?
We have the book available, it's, First They Killed My Father is the title of the book, it's also a movie on Netflix, directed by Angelina Jolie. The author's gonna be here, I believe, the first Saturday in October.
What country is it?
Cambodia. It's a very good read, and I would suggest read the book before you see the movie, cause the movie's all in Cambodian, I mean, there's no English,
Oh.
there's,
So it's subtitled?
mhm.
Wow. Okay. Monthly statistics?
And that's in your packet if you have any questions.
So I was fascinated to hear that the gentleman was there, that the teens that show up aren't logging on.
First thing I
They're-
said, we need to convince them, they don't get on the computers, they show up, they hang out, they're on their devices, they're reading, I mean, mhm.
That's good.
Wow.
Anybody who reads.
I just thought that was a
Check
little,
mark.
it was a little surprising.
Mhm.
So how do you know how many people show up
To what, the
to the team?
area, teen area, we just started it, I mean, we get a good consistent group, I believe they meet every Thursday. Every Thursday is the teen advisory committee.
Yeah, that's for the advisory committee, but the people that are actually coming in, how?
That,
how-
we just started it, I mean, it
So
has
you
only
don't
been
know
open
really
since
if-
Saturday,
if
not
you
yet.
don't think that's gonna be helpful or
Mhm.
not, it may be, because that's a big area, if
It
you only
is.
get 10 teens in there or whatever, you know what I mean?
It's not gonna be just for teens, but it'll be in, they'll have their programming there. They just had like the cosplay tea party on Saturday and they had over
Really?
30 kids. Yeah.
Cosplay team part.
That's like the third annual that they have.
What?
Cosplay is costume play, they come in costumes
Oh.
and they have tea. It's a tea party.
Costumes, but from books or?
From books, from anything, I mean, they love cosplay.
Oh, that's fun.
We got like 30 teams coming.
That's a lot.
It's not always just the grupito that is in the advisory committee, others come.
That's good.
I'll ask Rick to post some of the pictures
Yeah.
already.
Yes.
So that's the first program they had in there.
Tea party.
So you posted in Facebook?
I don't think I've seen it yet, but I haven't looked at Facebook. So I'll go in there. It'll be under Reader Bear probably.
I think it should be, even in the newspaper, you should,
I
send
think
it.
we made it to the paper one time. The
I
tea
haven't
party.
seen it lately.
No, not lately.
Let me ask you about the statistics. Do you compare numbers, or is there a way to compare numbers, circulation, collects with other municipalities our
Yes,
size?
I have and that's based on the annual report. And I have a group of libraries that are about the same population that we serve. And as far as our teen programming, we're only second to McAllen, and McAllen has their own teen area. So we're gonna see how that does. Circulation, we're pretty much even as far as the hard copy. I saw that we are falling behind in the ordering of electronic resources, which is why we're gonna be concentrating on that, because those numbers are super high.
And is there, when we look, because I was thinking about it was programming, and I was thinking about this the other day, just because I work in the industry, I guess, is there something that public libraries do, let's say, that maybe you can look at it in other areas like Boston, East Coast? Because when you travel to some of those areas, heck, the taxi cab drivers are talking about astrophysics and stuff. They have some of the greatest universities in such a small concentration, but yet everybody's at a certain level. And is that just natural? How did it happen? Does the public library play a role? And I'm sure it does. Because there was so much money put into these libraries, like in New York at one point. They're just huge. Is there something that they do that's a little different? Because I always think of the story that in 2015, the keynote address speaker for the University of Texas was Laura Martinez Tucker. And she's a Laredoan. Yeah, she's a Laredoan. And she spoke, and one of the stories she said when she was up there, she said, I got to my freshman English class and I saw her reading this and my eyes went like that. And she said, oh my God, can you believe it? And the girl next to her said, yeah, can you believe this? And so she felt a little better because she said the same thing, but it was short-lived because she says, yeah, I've already read all this.
Yeah.
No, the other lady had read it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And my point is, well, why did that happen where she was at, but yet it didn't happen where she was at? You see?
I had the same experience when I got to UT.
Yes. Yes. But that's what I'm saying is is there something but beyond that? Because sometimes it's not always the schools. And sometimes it could be, the public library system that they go to in the inner cities even.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm wondering. Is there
I don't
something?
know if maybe the Public Library Association has something where they compare public libraries. I can look into that.
Just to see if
I have
there's
the
something
Texas
else
one,
that we
yeah.
could be doing, something else
At
that.
a higher level.
Right.
And that's, we can provide all these programs, but the high interest doesn't necessarily mean high
No.
attendance,
No, it's not. But at least it's there. It's available. That's what we do for a lot of things. It's like the availability is there. You just have to take advantage of it.
And I'd like to believe we have a pretty good book collection, ebook also, which is
And some people will take advantage, you know, Bob, I don't know, I'm sure you all
Yeah.
got the email from the superintendent's office,
Three
and from
kids,
Gloria's
and one of
office.
them had read
We had
everything
that book
And the
giveaway.
before high school, and the other one.
Freedom
I
Elementary
get it
took
from one
advantage
library
of
to the
that.
next in my
And
room.
they took a lot of parents. We gave away 100 books on Sunday.
On Sunday.
We were at the Imaginarium. Henry Guaya from the Library of Congress took 150 books.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I might take a chance. Send it out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freedom Elementary, the librarian took charge
Yeah,
of
Miss,
it, and she called
Johnson.
Johnson.
Oh,
Call
yeah, Miss
parents.
Johnson, Adam, yes.
And
She's always doing
we
stuff.
gave away, the kids loved it. We sat them on the stage. It's the Francis Adwell, representative from
Oh,
Henry
yes.
Guaya's office,
Mhm.
read them a little story. They were all like intrigued. And then from there, I got them in line, like in school,
Mhm.
okay? And we went into the big room. Everybody was like, oh, you're just loving to pick the.
Yeah.
So the opportunity, like you said, is there. People say there's nothing to do in Laredo for the kids. There's never.
There's a lot to
And
do.
100 books we gave away. 100
That's wonderful.
And we do have it in a budget where we buy books, and whenever we go, we give out books. And whenever we're invited to an outreach, and, you know, our book festival too.
We
I
just
mean,
don't do it often enough. Yeah, 1 time, 2 times. We need to do it more opportunities. So it's.
Yeah, and I'm just saying only because I know that my daughter spent a summer in Chicago once with an aunt, and there were so many things that the city was providing. You didn't have to pay for anything. You know, those kinds of experiences, and then I don't know, I'm just wondering. if
and,
there's-
I mean, nothing in the library, we never charge for.
No, no,
That's
yeah,
part of
yeah.
our accreditation, that
Which
all
is-
programs are
Which is
open
why
to
a lot
everybody.
of people bring them to the
Mhm.
children's
Mhm.
library. Remember, even Miss Alanise, remember she used to bring her granddaughters in.
And now that we have the family place, I mean, and on Saturdays, we get grandparents with their kids, we get parents, just so that they have something to do.
Just to see,
Very
maybe
good.
something to compare, you know, like I
Yeah,
said.
with other.
And I know Miss Rena
Rena,
she had done something where we compared, and it was very enlightening as to where, and there was room for growth. In other words, because that's what they do with us. They compare us to campuses that are like us from around the state. So what are you doing that's working or not working?
And that's what I do with the Texas, like, cause that's
Right.
available to me, all the annual reports are available to me.
Okay, just to make sure we're on par at least.
No, and we're doing very good, like, we're killing it in children's programming, we're killing it in, even in adult program, we're doing better than the other libraries our size.
Mhm.
The only one that kills us is Plano, cause they have a lot of money,
See.
they have a lot of money.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, and I look at Plano.
Yeah. Okay.
Plano.
Just something to consider for next time, just a comparison of other ones that you said you could look at which say it was a.
Public Library Association, I'll
Library
see if
Association.
there's something
Right.
available.
Okay.
Very good.
Approved and unapproved library advisory committee member absences.
That would be
Ms.
nice.
Salinas, and she did call.
Yes.
I move that we approve her absence today.
I have a motion, anybody second?
Yes, second.
And Ms. Leon seconds, all, say yes?
Yes.
All approved? All opposed, no?
Maribel, the new.
She wanted that one
late.
She was gonna be
She
late,
was
she
gonna be
didn't
here
show
late
us.
because she had to take a child to a play.
Yes.
You can vote to approve.
Yeah, okay,
since she-
so I amend my motion to approve both Angie and Mimi's absence.
Any second?
I second.
Second, all approved? Yes?
Based on the fact that they had something that came up at the last minute and
Okay.
it happened.
Okay, any, items for next meeting? I think we discussed some of them
The
already.
bylaws,
The bylaws. the-
Rodriguez is appointee,
Yeah.
I'll keep trying,
broken record.
Yes.
and maybe, the Nuevo Laredo Library.
Oh, yes, I don't know if they're going to come, but they.
We'll have time enough
Yes.
before posting,
Okay.
we usually send it for posting the Friday out,
Okay,
so.
I will let you know.
Yeah, next meeting is,
Let's see. The 26th of September?
26th, everybody okay with that?
5 p.m. here at the library.
Thank you very much, sir, for doing the recording over here. It's a lot easier for us to come over here than downtown.
Oh, yes.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everybody.
Thank you, Jerry Leal, for setting us up.
Oh, also, don't forget, like, maybe next time, if they give you any kind of samples or anything, or
Oh, yeah,
of
the
the
signage,
signage,
the signage sample.
I don't know.
I will contact him so he can give me something I can have printed out for you.
Okay. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? Any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
This is signed. I second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed? There we go.